It's always like this, isn't it? These PT members love to mock because that's the only thing that fits them, right? Talking about them. The troubles their leader went through, not a chance. She was enlightened, blessed, another one for whom the party also had to spend a lot of money. To get elected there in Recife, she mocked Bolsonaro, put a picture of President Bolsonaro in a cage, and so on. And that old PT way of doing things. When things get bad, they start playing the victim. It's basically what happens with Israel and Palestine. Basically, those elements go there and provoke a bigger force. Then they can't handle it. And she ended up making Lula's situation even more complicated in all of this. A campaign they're already trying to launch ahead of time, because they think they're way ahead. But when you look out on the streets, you see things are much worse than they imagined. I'll show you everything here, plus other news stories. Hit the like button to help with engagement. Since they're in the Workers' Party, I doubt they'll let this go through. Look at what just came out yesterday, a report by Tasso Lohan. That's why they're going. They just cling to Bolsonaro. It's Bolsonaro in the morning, Bolsonaro at night, Bolsonaro at breakfast, at afternoon coffee, at lunch, at dinner. The bald guy from INSS, right? Is that it? It's now revealed that the former PT publicist acted as a bald person in a cannabis business. You know what this cannabis thing is, right? That little thing, that little thing there that many people love, especially those on the left. The publicist Daniela Miranda from the picture here. Look at the scandals, but of course, she talks about Bolsonaro's arrest. That can't be said. Whistleblower of alleged PT schemes during Operation Car Wash and responsible for the campaign that elected Dilma to the presidency, she acted as a representative of the lobbyist Antonio Carlos Camilo Antunes, known as the bald guy from National Institute of Social Security, But over there in Portugal, just look at that. Messages obtained by the column reveal that Daniela was in charge of the cannabis business of the bald guy from National Institute of Social Security. The guy also invested in the production of that little herb, quote, "I created this group so we can follow, step by step, the evaluation work of the cannabis project in Aveiro, over there in Portugal," wrote Daniela in a WhatsApp message, sent on October 17th, 2024. Also participating in the group were Claudia Augusta dos Santos, the bald man's sister-in-law, and Vitoria Bragança Cernejo, the lobbyist's niece. The Sync Nature project was valued at 3 million euros, which is equivalent to 18 million reais at the current exchange rate. In other words, they were stealing from retirees to invest in production. Constru Cunha. And Bolsonaro is in jail while many of these people are free. They stole money from retirees. I'll say it again. Invest in Cunha's production. And the STF, it's obvious. Ministers are more concerned about the political impact that Bolsonaro has. Data from the Financial Activities Control Council shows that Daniela received 5 million reais from the bald guy. Between November 2025 and March 2026. In a statement released in October this year, the publicist said that the amount of 5 million refers to the sale of a beach house in Trancoso, Bahia. The deal, however, was not finalized. Daniela assured that the amounts are declared to the tax authorities. At the time, the publicist made no mention of her role as a representative of Careca there in Portugal. In addition to acting as an operator in the National Institute of Social Security scheme, Careca from the Institute's agency started in 2023. The company World Cannabis is headquartered in Brasilia and has branches in São Paulo, Bogotá, Miami, and Lisbon. Here's the company, folks. All of this happened right after Lula took office, the so-called inauguration. Who didn't see this coming? In Portugal, the lobbyist founded Candango Consulting early this year, registering it in Porto as a consulting and service company. It's that craziness. Look at that. Careca do National Institute of Social Security visited the Ministry of Health 5 times, the center of the scandal. He was at the Ministry of Health 5 times. They're creating such a huge smokescreen. Look, everyone's campaigning for Lula, all those UPSB affiliates and Alckmin supporters over there. Because it's obvious, supporting this guy brings a lot of money to these people. All the visits were to the Executive Secretariat of the Ministry of Health, led by Swedenborg. Barbosa, who is currently the head of the Deputy Office for Internal Management of Lula's personal office. Now, he is part of Lula's personal office. Only one of them, however, was recorded in the official schedule. It wasn't even recorded in the schedule. A shocking scandal. Shocking, shocking, shocking. Here, the media outlets themselves are reporting it. The PT campaign was funded by the bald guy from National Institute of Social Security, now under investigation. He sent one reel to Bolsonaro's campaign. And that woman, Daniela Lima, had the nerve to say that he financed Bolsonaro's campaign. Meanwhile, in the PT campaign, look at that, 5 million reais. The advertising agent for PT campaigns received it. Then, here comes this blessed woman I mentioned at the beginning of the video. That's why they mock Bolsonaro. To distract from all this that's been coming up, she decided to make this video.
Are you going to sing now in Papuda?
I'm getting many threats from monsters, then...
When things got tough, she played the victim, cried, mocked Bolsonaro, and caged Bolsonaro. But it's her own partners who were actually caged, as they should be, right?
I'm getting a lot of monster threats from Bolsonaro supporters who are sending me private messages, threatening me as a monster, threatening my family.
Nobody wants to do anything to you, sweetheart. Stop playing the victim. Man, it looks like our friend talked about it again. Look, he went to mock Bolsonaro. That's how these people are, right? They want to provoke, and I bet nobody threatened him with death. She didn't show a single screenshot, not even one. They provoke, and then they can't take it.
Come on, Councilwoman, what are you complaining about? You made fun of and mocked the illness of someone you don't like politically. You mocked Bolsonaro. You put a picture of Bolsonaro inside a cage. When they asked if the little bird sang, you replied, no, it just burps, mocking him. The people who are going to your Instagram, they're not threatening to kill you. It's because you want to play the victim. That's typical of leftist scoundrels playing the victims. People are just saying that you made a joke about something you shouldn't joke about. When we make jokes about someone else's tragedy, we attract it to ourselves too. It's like that story about looking in the mirror. What you say is the reflection that comes back to you. No one is threatening you. People are not threatening you. You just want to play the victim. It's characteristic of your kind, of the left's kind, of the left's lineage. That.
It's a fact, a great video. She mocked that Bolsonaro was having her jailed. A person who hasn't committed any crime. They need this narrative to be able to sustain this whole regime, which is insane, cruel, and bloodthirsty. Look, the entire PT campaign is being funded by these atrocities. Imagine that, because Gilmar Mendes used to say that PT had enough money to run campaigns until 2038. Now imagine, with all this National Institute of Social Security theft, the money never appeared. Lula even took money from Brazilians to cover up all this theft. Many say it's around 200 billion reais. How long have they been taking money from people? In many places, there wasn't any at all. There's not even a National Institute of Social Security office for them to request reimbursement. They went to court there to block all kinds of lawsuits. Look, if you sign an agreement here, you can never sue again. They're handing out crumbs, not even half of what they stole. Which, for them, of course, turned out to be a profit. They've already used the money, invested the money, made double, triple, even quadruple because of it, and handed out crumbs, still from the people themselves. It's the same thing as when someone gets shocked by their electricity bill. They don't follow politics, so they don't understand why electricity costs increased. Lula raised Brazilians' electricity bills, and we're also paying for the Josley Brothers party in Manaus. Unbelievable. Now they come and play the victim, right? Share this video, friends, and hit like. Join our family. She really messed up. I want to see how she's going to get elected in the next election. I'll be back soon with more news on the Paya Philos channel.